you're not your own keeping.
Sipping this lean, I'm living carefree, da da da. LSD for me and you, keep up please. You can't judge nobody, so don't judge me. I just like smoking that weed, I just like smoking that weed. Smoking, drinking, booling, linking, facing these J's, I can't complain, my life is insane. I just wanna party and have some fun. I just wanna party and do some drugs, yeah.
Hey guys, it's yellowkushh back on the beat, and today I'm going to be telling part 2 of my series. Man, I forgot to say, if you haven't seen part 1, it's going to be linked in the description box, so if you haven't watched part 1, go watch that first, because this is going to make no sense if you don't watch part 1 first. And seeing all the positive feedback and seeing that it's actually helping people, like, that makes me so genuinely happy. And seeing all the DMs that y'all send me, like, if y'all don't follow my Instagram, it's right here. Go follow it and DM me, because I love having conversations with y'all. But so yeah, today is part 2. I'm kind of just winging this series. I'm just telling, like, I'm just turning on my camera and talking, so I don't want to talk, so I'm not sure how long this is going to be, but let's get into it. So I left off with us leaving the beach, and now I'm going to get into my stupidity and how I went back and how I went down. So when we got back from the beach, I remember one of my subscribers actually picked us up. Like, she drove all the way from Gwinnett, Georgia, down to PCB and picked us up. Like, that's a 6-hour drive. And she drove us all the way back and didn't ask for anything but gas money. And, like, that genuinely is so sweet. Like, good people do exist. So we get back, and I remember, like, me and P didn't talk for 2 whole weeks after I got back. Me and S were on straight, but like, we were just having so much fun, like, hanging out with whoever we want, because we were single. We weren't stressing over these niggas no more. So for 2 weeks, like, y'all, we're hanging out with the rappers, hanging out with, like, so many boys, like, but we weren't doing nothing with them. Yeah, it was just so much fun, like. But I was still in the back of my head, like, missing him, like, wondering what I did wrong, like how I could have fixed things. And I remember at the end of the 2 weeks, I just remember S was talking so much about Jay, so it just made me want to text Pete. And so I finally just texted him after 2 weeks, and I was like, what are you doing?
Stupid!
Girl, you knew what you was getting yourself into. And within seconds, he responded. He was like, I'm in Carrollton, what are you doing? And I remember I didn't respond because I was like, this is a bad idea. And he just kept blowing me up. He was like, why did you text me? Like, what, do you need me to pick you up or something? I was like, how are you going to pick me up? I just want to know. Like, so long story short, he ends up picking us up, and we go back to Carrollton, and y'all, this starts off a whole new chapter. So first, when we get back together, y'all, like, I remember everything was so good. Like, he was just so sweet to me. Like, honestly, this is probably the best time in our relationship, because he was so damn good to me. And, like, this was like this for like a week until everything went to shit. Let me tell y'all this. Oh my gosh. So nobody knows this because I always kept this on the low. But y'all, this is another traumatic situation in our relationship. So, oh my gosh. So basically, the house that we were staying in Carrollton was his friend's apartment. And basically, like, y'all know how college apartments, it was student living. So, like, there was 4 rooms in there, but, like, each room you had to rent out. And you know how that goes. But his apartment, like, the other rooms in there, nobody lived in them, but they was unlocked. So we was staying in there. So I remember me and P, we had our own room, and, like, it was our room. Like, everybody in there, like, there were so many couples in there, but they all had their own room. And so me and P had our own room. And I remember there was just so many people in that house, and all the boys in there, I don't even care to like get into everybody who was in that house right now because it's not important at this moment. But basically there was like 4 or 5 guys in there, and all of them got jobs. So all of them got the same jobs. So I remember like they had different shifts, and I would take them, drop them off, and then go back to the apartment and wait for them to get off to pick them up. And so I remember one of P's friends, we're gonna name him A because he actually is important in this story right now. So A, he had ended up getting fired like after the 3rd day because his background check came back. And so I remember I was taking them to drop them off, but he had got the call that unless like he had lawyer papers that he could prove that his charges were dropped, that he couldn't work there no more. So I remember that was while I was on the way dropping them off. So he rode back with me, and I remember we were just driving around and we were talking. And like I'm not thinking nothing of it. Like I'm thinking of these niggas as my brothers. Like it's nothing deep. So we're driving around talking. And tell me why A just randomly says, "Do you ever wonder why P's never on his phone around you?" No, but I am now. What the like? So I'm like, no. And so it starts making me think so much. Like an insecure girl, that type is gonna make me go crazy, okay? So I'm like, no. And he's like, and just tries to change the subject. I'm like, wait, like you can't do that. Like, not to me. And so I'm trying to get it out of him, like why'd you ask me that? And basically, like, he's not wanting to tell me, but I'm sitting here like begging him, like duh, I want to know, like, nigga, you're the one who brought it up, so please don't even try to act like I'm the one who started all this. So basically, long story short, he ends up telling me that when I wasn't there, P would be on FaceTime with this girl, and they talk a lot or whatever. And I remember I was like, so that made me feel some type of way. I was like, oh, okay, so when he gets off work, we're going to have a conversation. And so I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, we just came back from PCB, and like, y'all, one thing he said, like, he said, I can't tell you I'm not going to cheat on you. I'm going to have to prove it. Like, and I was really thinking he was going to prove it until I find out this information. So at this time, I'm thinking in PCB, he only cheated on me with one and a knockoff version of me at that. But, I was under the impression he only cheated on me once, and it was with one girl. Stupid! I'm stupid for that. Like, what the hell? Like, why did I think he only cheated on me once when he was at the beach and there were all the bitches? Anyways, we're gonna get into that. So, he tells me that, and so I'm starting to think. And we just go on about our day or whatever, and then, y'all, he has the audacity to show, not even tell me, y'all. Like, his friend A has the audacity to show me evidence, video proof. Holy f***. He shows me video proof of P having in the same bed we were sleeping in. Not only that, y'all, it showed the day. It showed the day. But it also showed that she was on her period, that it was raw, and that he had introduced me into this after they had done that in the same bed that we were sleeping in. And not only that, y'all, the reason his friend had that video is because they were running a train on this in the same bed that we were in, me in his room. Like, y'all, do y'all know how sick to my stomach I felt when I seen that video? Like, y'all, I almost puked. I was so fucking disgusted because it's just like, niggas really ain't. So he shows me all this information, y'all, and I'm just taking it in, and I just don't know what the hell to do. I'm like, I'm ready for this man to get off because I'm so ready to go off on him. But at the same time, A's over here like, you can't tell him. You can't tell him, you know, just leave him. Just leave him. You just need to leave him. Like, don't tell him that I told you anything. And I'm just over here like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But in reality, I knew in the back of my head I was going to go off on this nigga whenever he got off. So I spent his whole shift. Their shifts were 12 hours, y'all. So I spent this man's whole shift just crying and feeling like, and I'm just sitting in that room just disgusted knowing that had happened, like that he had screwed the in our bed and I was just sleeping in it and screwing him like. I don't like to think too deep into this, y'all, because I don't want to get my feelings all over again. And every day I'm growing and getting over this situation. So, I mean, it's getting easier to talk about, but it's still just not it. Like, I can't believe that I was the dumbest in the world. And I was so blinded by my love by him that I just accepted disrespect over and over again. Like, I just can't believe it. But anyways, so it comes to where I have to pick them up for their shift. Actually, I didn't even pick him up. I made A go pick them up from their shift. And I was just laying in the room. And I remember when he gets off his shift, like, he's trying to be all lovey-dovey to me. And y'all know I love that. But I was just like, I was not with it. Like, after the information and the video proof I seen, oh yeah, no, nobody. Get the off me. Get the off me. Like, what the hell? If you don't get your paws off me. So I remember I was laying in the room dark. It was late as hell whenever they got off. But I was laying in the room and I was just like so depressed. And I remember he had came in there and instantly he knew something was up because I was just not having it. I was I wasn't saying nothing at first, but he knew, like, he knew I knew something. I forgot, at this time, he would leave his phone at, like, the crib because, like, he wouldn't use it at work and it didn't have service. So, like, I was using his phone while he was at work and I remember I was looking, like, for this girl's FaceTime and I was, like, just looking. I looked through him and Jay's conversation. I read everything, like, and so I told him, I was like, while you're at work, I read through you and Jay's entire conversation. I want to know about every girl you cheated on me with, and if you don't tell me every girl, I already know every girl because I read y'all's conversation. So if you don't tell me every girl, then it is done. We are done. So I think the first thing I told him was, I seen the video of you that bitch in our bed. Like, and I just broke down and I remember I was crying my eyes out whenever I said that. Like, I'm like, it's the audacity for me that you introduced me into this after y'all did all that. And it's the audacity you did it raw and in our bed and had me sleeping in the dirty bed. Like, ew. So I remember, like, y'all, instantly when I said that, he started bawling his eyes out, like, saying, I'm so sorry, like, it was when we weren't together, like, all this. So I just don't care. Like, I'm just, like, so disgusted. So I'm like, okay, tell me all the girls that you cheated on me, and if you don't tell me, like, we're done. So y'all, I kind of got him caught up because, like, I really didn't see no other names in him and Jay's conversation, but I had seen hints that, like, he was cheating, like. So I said that, and he ended up confessing about, like, 4 other girls that he and all this while we were together. And y'all, like, I remember I was like, damn, like, I wasn't expecting it to be that much. And I remember, y'all, he kept trying to, like, stop and say just one person, but I'd be like, oh, so you're trying to lie. Like, P, you don't realize if you don't tell me every name, we are done. Like, we're done. Bottom line, point blank. Like, I promise you, you will never hear from me again. So, like, I remember, y'all, like, he was, like, I was trying to leave the room, and he was sitting here, like, trying to hug me, crying, don't leave me, all this bull. And I remember when I first told him that A told me or whatever, he charged out that room and him and A almost got into it. But, like, the other guys, they, like, broke it up or whatever. But I remember, like, I was just like, how you finna try to fight this boy? Like, I know that's supposed to be his friend and it's really his op, because this nigga comes back into the story later and ugh. But yeah, y'all, I remember that made me feel sick. Like, y'all, oh my gosh, it was just terrible. But I remember, like, after that, it was just no trust. From then on, no trust. Like, I had no type of trust for this guy. And I remember he was saying, like, it was the same thing. He was like, I'm going to prove to you, like, I won't ever cheat on you again. I was still so insecure from finding all that information out and seeing all that, that the entire time I was insecure thinking he was cheating on me. And that's just how it was. There were a lot of, like, situations in that little apartment, like, with all them guys. That is why I'll never live with, like, a big group of people, because, y'all, it's really just not it. Like, it really is not it, living with a whole bunch of people. Just get your own, I promise you, and just see people whenever you want to see them. But don't try to live with people, y'all, because it's really not it, and it's just going to be a whole bunch of drama. Like, okay, I remember one of his other friends, we're going to name him M. Like, y'all, when they were all at work, it was just me and him there. He tried to make a move on me, trying to get me to sneak and do things with him while P was at work. And I remember as soon as P got home, I told him. And I never seen that guy a day in my life ever since. And it was just so many situations. And now I'm going to get into this is just going to be so filled if I just tell all the way up until we leave that apartment. I guess I'll just do that. So I remember this was the first time he had put his hands on me again after everything that happened in PCB. I remember he promised he wouldn't put his hands on me and all this. Like, he just promised a whole bunch of, like, white lies, and they all fell through. So this whole situation happened because, y'all, let me tell y'all, Jay never liked me again. Like, after all that drama happened between me and my best friend at the time, S, he never liked me again. And keep in mind, if y'all don't remember, Jay from last story time is S's boyfriend or whatever, loose term. So what had happened was, this would happen so much. That's why I just So Jay and S, they had their room was right next door to me and P. They were sleeping, and I remember just in the morning, like, S had told me that Jay went through her phone while she was sleeping, and, like, he found some things, and he set it as her lock screen. And basically, he went through me and her conversation, and, like, if you go through you and your best friend's conversation, there's gonna be tea, especially about your boyfriends in there. Like, so basically, while me and P weren't together for the 2 weeks, I'm gonna be straight up, y'all. Like, I wanted to do something. So I had basically fake being pregnant to him. I was just trying to get money out of him. Like, ew, out of that 2 weeks, I was like, I need something. So, like, basically, I tried to say I was pregnant, and that's wrong. Like, ew, I don't know why I did that. I'm gonna explain how, like, he found out I was lying. Basically, my dumb used my friend's pregnancy test picture and sent it to him, but, like, his friend, it was his pregnancy test. So, like, they seen the same picture, and that's how, oh my gosh, like, I'm so dumb. Like, why would I even do that? I don't know. Y'all don't even have to tell me that I'm wrong for that, because I already know. I've grown since then. That was a whole year ago. Really, but, thank God I never got pregnant by him. I was never impregnated by this man, so please don't get it twisted. So, anyways, I had faked that, and he had seen it in the messages or whatever. Caught red-handed. But, like, this whole time, P really didn't know about that. And, like, oh my gosh, y'all, he really had thought I was pregnant. Like, he really did. This whole time, he had thought I was pregnant. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. So, I remember Jay had called P in there, and he had showed him the messages, y'all. He was like, so why is Jay telling me that you faked this whole pregnancy thing? And I remember, y'all, I was like, why is this man in my business? Like, ew. So I remember I just was finna cause a whole scene. So I got out that room and I went in there. I'm like, so Jay, you're trying to tell him I'm faking this pregnancy when you just spread an STD from this girl to this girl. Like, yeah, I went in there saying all that. So it got heated, and it got heated fast. I'm like, oh, but you didn't know that, because he didn't know that he gave this other girl STD. So I was like, oh, but you didn't know that, huh? So this man, y'all, Jay, takes and cocks it back and puts it straight to my head, y'all. And I remember P, he had pushed his hand out the way or something. No, he didn't. He was like, whoa. He was like, calm down or whatever. And so me and P, we go in our room. And I remember, like, I'm trying to leave his. I don't know why I was trying to leave. Like, I was mad at Jay for getting in our business. But I was like, that's what you get. So, yeah. And P was just crying, telling me not to leave. And, y'all, I swear, anytime I try to leave is when the abuse would start. Like, okay, so this time, we are in this room, like, y'all, he was standing in front of the door. He would not let me leave. And I remember our windows in the room were open. And, like, S's mom was on the way to get us, y'all. So, this is so annoying. Like, explaining, like, having to, like, relive this, telling the story is just annoying sometimes. But basically, S's mom was on the way to pick us up. And basically, Carrollton from Noonan is a 40-minute drive. So, like, her mom was on the way from Noonan to pick us up in Carrollton. So, all this takes place while she's on the way to get us. And the windows in my room were open. So her mom ends up getting there while P is locking me in this room. And I remember, like, y'all, me and him are, like, literally, like, tussling in this, like, because I'm trying to wrestle to get out this room. And, like, S's mom hears me screaming from the room, and she's like screaming she's like, let my babies down, like all this. And she calls the cops. And so basically right before she had pulled up, S and J, like, this whole thing happens, like, and basically he kidnaps her and all this. And me and P, like, he finally let me leave when he heard S's mom, like, screaming, and she said the police were on the way. And all this. And, like, y'all, one thing this man would always do is try to kill himself whenever I'd leave. Like in so many different ways. Like, he was real creative with it. But, like, it would only be when I would try to leave. So that's how I knew this man was capped. So, he was trying to kill himself. Like, y'all, this man, I remember, like, y'all, me and him, we were wrestling so bad. And I'm not even finna act like this. I would just let this man just hit me all the time and I wouldn't hit back. Like, y'all, this was one time I fought back. Like, I remember I pushed this man to the wall and pushed a hole. Like, it made a hole in the door, actually, because I pushed him through the door. I did punch him in his face, I'm not finna lie, because he would not let me out this room. Like, I was going crazy pulling his hair. Like, I'm not finna lie to y'all. I did these things. But anytime I ever put my hands on him, it was always in self-defense or to get myself out of a situation. So I finally get out of that apartment, and I remember, y'all, like, when so many police cars pulled up, and I had to talk to 12 for like 3 hours. And I remember the whole time I was just scared, like, he was gonna get in trouble, because, like, there were bruises all over my body, and, like, I don't know, you could just tell, like, I had been roughed up a little bit. So I remember I was just worried about him the whole time. I was telling him, like, 12's here, like, get anything out the apartment, like, they're finna come up there and talk to you. So basically all that happens, and me and P, we end up making up that night, and I end up staying there. And yeah, so that's the first two situations, and this is gonna be the last situation I tell before I end this story time. And y'all, this is another big ass situation, and this time he didn't hit me, his brother did. So we're gonna get into that. So basically, during that 2 weeks me and him weren't together, y'all know how I said I hung out with rappers and stuff. I remember this one rapper had asked me to do a skit, and I didn't know what the skit was. I just agreed to do it over text before I knew what it was. When I got there, he ended up explaining to me the skit was basically like, it was trying to be like a social experiment, like a shop, basically like to get this girl's music promoted or whatever. And basically I was supposed to be like fakes in the back of the video, but I wasn't really doing it because I had just got my tongue pierced literally that day. But I was fake doing it, and I remember this video came back, and his brother had seen it, I guess, while they were at work, and P had already seen the video and known it was fake, like known I wasn't actually doing anything in the video. So we already discussed it and everything, but his brother didn't know that we had already discussed it, and he didn't know it was fake and all this. So his brother's under the impression, I had went and picked them up from work one night, and they all get in the car, and his brother's just going off on me, and I'm so confused because it came out of nowhere. He was like, you're cheating on my brother, you're cheating on P, and I have proof, and I'm gonna show everybody whenever we get back to the apartment. So P's over here bawling his eyes out, thinking like I'm cheating on him. And I'm so confused because I'm like, I am nothing but loyal to this boy. Like, what the hell are they talking about? So I'm like, okay, I would love to see like what you have on me. I would love to see it. So we get back to the apartment, and he's not showing anything. He's just like sitting here screaming at me, all this. I remember P was trying to kill himself, and I think that's how it all started because he was in the bathroom, and I knocked down that door. Like I said, like kick that door in, like knock it down to try to get to him and like help him, because I heard like this man choking. And so like I get in there, and his brother, oh yeah, this is why it all started, because his brother was like, man, it is not that serious, like all this. And I was like, bro, like you're the one who started all this. All I remember, y'all, is this man sucker punched my, like knocked me back. Like this punch straight to the eye had me in the mother bathtub laid out, like, whoa, seeing stars, bro. I was like woozy. I was like, whoa, like, hold up. So all I remember is seeing stars and falling back into the bathtub, and I just hear a whole bunch of commotion while I'm sitting here like, I hear a whole bunch of commotion, and when I get up, like, y'all, I cannot see out my eye. Like, I'm like looking around, and I just hear P and Z like fighting, like fist fighting. And y'all, I'm sitting there. I think I don't know if I started crying, but I might have. I don't know if I started crying or if I was just sitting there like this, but eventually I started crying because it made my eye water so much. Like, y'all, I'm gonna insert pictures. Like, it had my whole eye red, bloodshot. Like, this man did all this. And so we're all sitting here like, it's a whole brawl. And I just remember, like, me and S, we were like getting distant because we were just so focused on our boyfriends at the time that we weren't. So I remember like all this happens, and I remember when I'm leaving the bathroom, I see S in the door, and she's sitting there laughing, and oh my gosh, I just wanted to spaz right there. I was so mad. I'm like, you're laughing at this? Like, you think this is funny? And I was just so mad, bro. So I remember I'm sitting there laying in this man's room, and I'm like I want to leave. I'm done. Like, your brother just hit me. Like, y'all just think it's okay to put pause on it? Like, damn, that's how it is. So, that was our last night in that apartment. Like, y'all, from then on, it was sworn beef with everybody in that. Like, it was me and P against them, like, for real. So we had went and stayed with his sister. And that's where I'm going to end this story time off. But y'all, that was just the worst move for our relationship, going to his sister. But we were house hopping, so that was just a problem in itself. And I mean, yeah, but the next story time, I'm going to talk about my experience with his sister and all that, how we ended up in jail, the expensive bond I had to pay. Like, y'all, I'm gonna get into all of that. And I hope y'all enjoyed this story time, y'all. I have somewhere to be. I have to go get some stuff. So I hope y'all enjoyed this story. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for all the love y'all been showing me. If you have not followed my Instagram, go ahead and follow that. Spam my likes, spam my DMs. I'm gonna respond. I love y'all so much. Bye.